Yes, indeed. Hey. Why even beat around the bush, man? Welcome back to another one, man. This is gonna be a jam-packed show, man. If you're new here, make sure to like, share, subscribe to the content. Hype the video once it's done. I appreciate everybody for coming in here, man. How everybody doing? We coming back. We doing something different. I did say, I think it was like last year before my schedule changed, that I was gonna start doing this exercise a little bit more, where we're gonna be getting a pulse of the nation, where we're going to be basically, we're gonna react to some of the topics and some of the other content, brethren and sisterin, is that the word? In the space, the amazing content they're doing, and just getting just a pulse of the nation, of certain topics. I thought these were like some very interesting topics, and I thought like these some very interesting what would I would say, just outlooks with it, and I just feel like, hey, why not give my reaction or give my opinion to the matter on the situation, because I like to hear the other side. I love to hear the sometimes the devil's advocate or whoever's agreeing with me, just to hear like just getting the feel of the nation. You know what I'm saying? Just taking out the thermometer and putting it into the waters of the nation right now. So without further ado, like I said, if you're new here, make sure to like, share, subscribe to the content. It's gonna be it's not, we ain't doing like full. I already got it mapped out, how long, but yeah, I just wanted to really do this this activity, everything like that. So let me get the audio straight, and then we're gonna hop straight into it. So I wanted to first start with all topics of the offense, and we're gonna hop in. Shout out to Sky and 2i. They're doing an amazing job over there on the channel with their topics, and they had a couple of segments that I wanted to give my input on, that they were saying that I thought was very interesting, and I wanted to yeah. So let's hop right in with it.
And Shoddy are still communicating through things, there are going to be changes. Because I think a lot of people are worried about the NFL catching up to Shoddy's offense and understanding Shoddy's offense. And I'm
That was
like,
first year.
I know, I'm like, imagine some of the stuff that they about to change up on y'all
Yeah,
right
and
now.
think about it. That first year offense, they were figuring out. Like Clayton
Yeah.
Adams wasn't under Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer never
Mhm.
worked with Clayton or
Let me know if y'all can hear y'all can hear the audio. Just making sure this is like one of the first times we doing this, but I think y'all can. Let me just make sure play it again.
or the offensive line coach or anything
Yeah,
like
y'all
that.
can.
Now Clayton's got a little bit more on his plate. Right,
Right.
we're gonna add to the run game. We're probably going to do some different things schematically.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Dak is always going to be able to make an offense at the very least be respectable. But yeah, I definitely have confidence in this year two version of this offense with Shoddy and Clayton because unlike years past, I
Mm-hmm.
think Shoddy legitimately wants to change, improve, etc., as opposed to, hey man, this is how I do things. This is how we've done things in the past, and we're just gonna rock out. I've said this many a times. The things you saw in 23 after they had that come to Jesus moment was because Brian Schottenheimer said, hey man, we got to
Mm-hmm.
start doing what the rest of the league is doing, and you saw that.
So this is a lot within this clip. Let me first start in. Let me go back to the beginning of it because I should have stopped it earlier. But it's all good. We're gonna go back to this part right here. This part right here because I thought this is very interesting. Oh, because they let it off. Let me start a little bit early so I can get the context of it. They talking about Shoddy in the year two and just the offense in year two.
Decoration because he was just doing everything he needs to do. But there is a confidence from him with Shoddy. You can tell him and Shoddy are still communicating through things. There are going to be changes. Because I think a lot of people are worried about the NFL catching up to Shoddy's offense and understanding Shoddy's offense. And I'm
That was
like,
first year.
Okay, so I understand what they're saying, Shout out to Tua. They do amazing work and everything like that. And so what they're hinting at, and I kind of agree with Sky and Tua, is that Shotty's first of all, Shotty's philosophy, it's a chameleon. Like he has a bunch of a lot of different pieces, bits and pieces within the scheme, and that aspect of him, it should warrant, of them having like another fold to the offense, like having another counter within the offense, though. That I think that's what they're arguing because of his ability, to constantly, just not staying stagnant, not staying stubborn with something. That's going to be he's going to be outwitting and out staying a step ahead of the NFL defenses. My thing is this, and I've been on this from the beginning. The Dallas Cowboys offense will regress. I'm gonna say it again. The Dallas Cowboys offense will regress. It's going to regress because at the end of the day, and this is my saying. I always say this: the fastest evolving organism is the NFL defense. They will always catch up. There is no you staying ahead. You know what I'm saying? They will always catch up. And I'm 95% sure that they're going to catch up to us this year. You know why I'm 95% sure? Because, and I broke down in my research and I put it on X and I showed it on the stream before. The NFL caught up to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes' offense within the year. They caught up. They caught up. With during the years they had Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and had all those immaculate offenses, they couldn't be stopped. The very next year, the counter was put them in too high, and you having a being able to, if you can get to Patrick Mahomes before and keep a shell up behind it, that's the counter. They caught up. So if they can if they can catch up to them, they can for sure catch up to Shotty and Dak. Here's the question that we need to be asking. If the offense is going to regress, here's the question. How much will they regress? See, that's the difference between a Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury and an Andy Reid and a Mahomes. See, they regressed from top 3, top 1 in the entire league in terms of offense, and then the very next year they went down to number 7. Versus Jaden Daniels and them, they went from top, I think it was top 10 offense, top 5 offense, all the way to like middle of the pack to like top 17. You know what I'm saying? You're going to regress. It's just a matter of how much. And a lot of things can change. One of the main things that can help you, if you continue to add to the offense or you add another fold to it. So when the Chiefs with a heavy passing attack, they added it, that obviously they predicted that the counter was going to come with the too high. Okay, we got to start punishing them when they want to go too high so we can get the looks we want. You gotta have that the teams are this is. I got this term from Bill Belichick. They're gonna make you play left-handed. Are you gonna be able to still fight when you only have your left hand? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? That's the question. And here's my thing. Why I know it. Football is a copycat league. NFL is a copycat league. All it takes is one. They figured out our offense last year, y'all. I hope y'all understand it. Like, we had some ugly games. I hope people understand that the Dallas Cowboys had ugly games last year. That Vikings game, not only the game, but their reaction to that game. Like they came away, bro. They was shook. After Jaden Daniels played Zimmer in 2024, during the year when they was rolling, y'all remember? And they faced us twice, and we made them. Not only we made Jaden Daniels look crazy, it was the second game. They had to bench him. They had to pull him out the game. Because you know why? The very next year, everybody was just rewinding and doing the same thing that Zimmer did, or a variation or a derivative of it. That's how the NFL defense is. All it takes is one to figure it out. And then the very next year, they're going to gear up and run that same exact game plan over and over and over again. That's literally how they catch up. So I understand what they're saying, but we are going to regress. I keep asking, or I keep saying it's going to be a matter of how much. Let me skip up some to where I think we was at before.
Two version of this offense with Shoddy and Clayton, because unlike years past, I think Shoddy legitimately wants to change, improve, etc., as opposed to, hey man, this is how I do things. This is how we've done things
I agree.
in the past, and we're just gonna rock out. I've said this many times. The things you saw in 23 after they had that come to Jesus moment was because Brian Schottenheimer said, hey man, we got to start doing what the rest of the league is doing, and you saw that. So I feel very confident in year 2 under Shoddy and Clayton Adams.
Oh yeah, I agree. But I think him and Dak and Shoddy.
We're gonna talk about that because he was hinting at he's hinting at the stubbornness of McCarthy, and I'm gonna talk about that, like why, like yeah, in the moment I was a victim of that as well, but I'm gonna talk about why I kind of prefer that style of coordinator versus the one they like of the play stealing.
Are obviously on the same page. For them to come out even last year and have the year that they had, just playing, being with each other for 1 year, I expect for them to take a step. But the quarterback himself just looks the same.
Yeah, so she finna get into something else because I already know she's finna get into, because that's gonna be another part. But let me go back a little bit and so we're gonna replay what he said about
we got to start doing what the rest of the league is doing, and you saw that. So I feel very confident in you, as opposed to, hey man, this is how I do things. This is how we've done things in the past, and we're just gonna rock out. I've said this many times. The things you saw in 23 after they had that come to Jesus moment was because Brian Schottenheimer said, hey man, we got to start doing what the rest of the league is doing, and you saw that. So I feel very confident.
Okay. I didn't know what that button did. I'm glad I know it now. But hold on. Look,
This is Butters, you know what I'm saying?
Let me cook real quick.
You just sit back and cool out to some of my smooth tunes, okay? All right, is that cool?
All
right, here we go.
Let me cook real quick, because let me make the case why that the other way, or the McCarthy way, or the dinosaur, the guys who do not like say change or variation from, it's actually a kind of a better offense, and that's what a lot of people do. So like I've been watching, them for a while. I understand a lot of people have the same sentiment, the narrative of they always want to, continue to evolve and take all the X's and O's type thing from other teams, and they believe like us, incorporating that, that's always a, what I'm saying, like it's, I understand it. I love the glisten, the glamour, and everything like that. But here's my reason why you got to have the healthy balance of even what McCarthy did, and being your stubbornness. And I'm not even going. Let's take this to basketball. You know what I'm saying? I know, like basketball. If I was a hooper, you're basically asking me, do I want to be the hooper who has a bunch of counters, who can always, I have the tween cross, like I got the whole Kyrie bag, I got a whole bag of tricks that I can pull up on you. You know what I'm saying? And I can always be ready for what the defense gonna be able to throw on me. But I would say, and the real people who know basketball would say this, I would rather be the hooper, the scorer, that has 3 to 4 or 5 moves, and I know my spots. I'm gonna say that again. I would rather be the hooper that would have 3 to 4 moves, not just like your go-to moves, than being the guy who has the entire bag. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, as the stakes get higher, and we really are going for championship football, I would rather have the offense, rather than that we've been still in plays all year. I would rather have the offense where we have like our core plays that we've executed on a high level, that even though people see it, they still can't stop it because we're just executing on a high level. I would rather be that type of offense than be the one that's, like the modern way that everyone else is saying. And my reason for it, because even Shoddy said it in his recent presses about the OTAs. A lot of people want us to incorporate 13 personnel, but he was saying sometimes you can't steal everything because it ain't for you. So I would rather us just rep the plays. If it's line up in 22 personnel, line up heavy power. All right. If it's on the goal line, line up on ace formation. You know what I'm saying? Splitting Pickens out wide. seeing a matchup and just throwing, the goal line fade like he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just talked about it, I think, on a couple of shows the other day, how we think Aaron Rodgers, I think he's the most talented quarterback ever. Bro, the one thing, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams had a go-to play that worked every time, and it was that back shoulder foot. It was that back shoulder fade, man. It was that back shoulder. That back shoulder throw was always there, because when you in the midst of the moment in playoffs, like, because there's gonna be times where you're gonna meet some turmoil, you're gonna meet some, times where the opposing team's gonna take the momentum away from me, but you're gonna always have them go-tos that is gonna this is gonna gain us. We gonna gain yardage out of this, man. This is gonna, you know what I'm saying? This is why I'm saying that even though I love what Shotty is doing with the modernization, I don't want to completely disrespect, or not even he ain't disrespecting, but I don't want to completely like throw out what the McCarthys of the world, because the McCarthys of the world, man, honestly had way more success than all of these X's and O's, and you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just rather have a few set of moves. Like, if I'm Dirk, I'm catching it on the top post. I'm catching it with my back towards you. I may face up and get into my one-legged fade. I may, keep you on my back and do a spin into a one-legged fade. I have the same moves, 2 or 3 moves, but I can get to my spot. I will rather be that, because that's honestly, there's difference between them type of sport. This ain't an NBA podcast, but I'm just telling you, that's the difference between you being efficient and you having like a whole, like a wondrous bag of tricks, though. Let's keep going.
Confident in year 2 under Shotty and Clayton Adams.
Oh yeah, I agree, but I think him and Dak and Shotty are obviously on the same page. For them to come out even last year and have the year that they had, just playing, being with each other for 1 year, I expect for them to take a step. But the quarterback himself just looks the same. I mean, I don't expect him to just go out there and look dusty and rusty or nothing. He has lost a little bit of weight.
This is key. This is key. I want
in
y'all
comparison to what we're normally seeing him at. So,
which is not a bad thing as you get older.
Well, yeah, it's not a bad thing as you get older, and I think Clarence mentioned it to him in the interview, and he was like,
stress. without saying it, we all know the things he's going through, and his like having multiple kids, the situation with his fiance and things like that.
We're going to keep an eye on that. That's the only thing. Like, I don't want to harp on to it too much, but if you've been into like if you've been having your ears to the ground, you've been on the news behind what Dak and everything like that, and what been happening to him off the field. I ain't gonna harp on it too much, but I'm not gonna act like Dak can't be a threat to the season, or not a threat, but it can't affect him on the season and everything like that. Hold on, I'm just trying to see, because so I can get y'all chat on that screen right there. Wait, that's not it. This is it. I'm just gonna put it right here so I can see y'all chat and everything like that. But appreciate everybody coming in here. That, what I'm saying, I appreciate y'all coming on here, man. But we can't act like that's not a problem, or something that we need to keep an eye on, though. Shout out to Aisha, giving us that news on that, because that's an observation I did not take into account just yet. It's like, again, like, these players are human and they're not robots. So let's jump ahead. I got right here. It's gonna be about the running backs, of course, but they had a very interesting takeaway I wanted to react to.
Speed practices, because I think they know what they have in Javonte, and I think they want to see how much workload can we give these young guys, and
let me back it up.
Young guys, for this specific position group on the running back side.
Okay.
Because Shotty even mentioned, hey, Jay Will's not getting a lot of team stuff because we want to see the young guys. He specifically said we want to see Phil and Jaden get more reps during the full speed practices, because I think they know what they have in Javonte, and I think they want to see how much workload can we give these young guys, and can they step up. You were, again, out there at OTAs, out there at mini camp. I have to always preface this with the running backs, because you're not going to, running backs and linebackers, I don't think you're going to get too much from he looks great, because you can't hit. You
Agreed. So that's the one thing that's for clip culture. when they post clips during the camp and everything like that. I just want to keep y'all in that mind. And Shotty did say that as well. Like the real evaluation is going to start is when we can put the pads on and we can officially hit and take guys to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important that we get this sorted out and have the competition right now in camp, because it's very limited on the true evaluations of the position. Same thing with linebacker.
You can't finish runs. Training camp a little bit, but preseason for sure. But still, we all want to know, hey, the hierarchy. How much work is this guy getting? Does he seem more confident? Things like that. And we can judge as from a distance as much as we can. But you're actually there. The Jaden Blue situation, Phil Maffa, kind of just your thoughts on. I don't want to leave out Malik Davis and things like that, but your thoughts on the position. Maybe we'll go back and forth on how we view it and where we see it heading into training camp.
I think it's really as simple as when you talk about a Phil Maffa and a Jadon Blue is the things that Jadon Blue struggles with. Phil Maffa does not, but Phil Maffa doesn't have some of the things that Jadon Blue can do. So maybe they're just trying to figure out what the balance is going to be, because you need guys, and I'm assuming that's what it is right now. But there is something in Phil Maffa that gives them a comfort, I think, because he is. The first time I watched Phil Maffa, I just thought, oh, he's a running back. Like if somebody described a running back to me, especially like the back in the day running backs, I was like, oh, he's a running back. That doesn't make sense. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he's a running back. Like he's running
built
back.
Like the old schools. He's 6'1".
When she says comfort, is the reason why they have comfort in Phil Maffa is because Phil Maffa is the back that Shotty likes. No, and I'm not even talking about preference. I'm just talking about physical. We keep saying just the physical makeup. Look, man, you can find out a lot about a person if you can list out their history right now. I can find out a lot about you if I can list all your exes. We can list everybody's exes right now. I can find out what you like, what you allow, everything like that. Same thing in this situation, in this rap sheet. There's it's almost predictable. Like we knew he was gonna prefer. It's not even that he's comfortable with Maffa. Like he's saying some crazy. Like he called Maffa elite in some of these areas. So yeah, keep going.
230 plus pounds, and
he runs the ball like
he runs hard, bro.
Yeah,
I think Phil Maffa is the perfect kind of okay, if something happens to Jay Will, he can literally do the Jay Will things from a running standpoint, because we have to understand the reason why they love Jay Will so much is because he does everything that they want them to do. The young bucks, we don't know, can they pass protect? Can they scan and decipher where the blitz is coming from? Can they catch the rock in the backfield, be where they need to be?
That's where I disagree. We know for sure who's a good pass blocker and who's not. It's there's gonna be a question if he got better coming in, but first of all, let's just stop there, because Blue wasn't a good pass protector at Texas. So these are some things, you know what I'm saying, that we already knew. As a, like we can see that, and I don't believe that Phil Maffa, we still have questions about his pass protection. I don't believe that. I don't. We have proof that he can actually do that. If you catching the ball out the backfield for the running back, Shotty mentioned that is very important, but how many times did we actually use that as a legit option during the year? Can y'all count how many times do y'all remember minus screens where Javonte was catching plays out the backfield? Because everybody can do a screen. A screen is easy. It's all about just reaction time, getting your head around and getting behind your blockers. Actually, it don't take route running. All you need for a screen is vision and feel, and burst. But nah, man. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel some type of way how he worded it right there. Of that he's a great replacement for Javonte of the running back side. Like basically, okay, we're trying, like, he's a situational replacement for Javonte on that end. I think we just misevaluated what Shotty's asking for in his offense, though. Just be honest with you. I think we just misevaluated it. Keep going.
And do they know everybody's role like how Jay Will does? I don't think they're quite there yet. But from a running standpoint, man, if Phil can stay healthy, to me, I said this before. I personally think all three should be involved.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all three should have a role on this team. It doesn't have to be this role where everyone has 100 carries. But boy, if hey, look, Jay Will tap that head, 2-eye. Hey, I'm tired. Phil can go punch it in if you need 2-3 yards. Phil can punch it in from the goal line. Phil got a little wiggle to him.
Mm-hmm.
I like Phil Maffa, man. I just think he can really be.
Read it. Say it.
Phil Maffa.
Go back.
Phil can punch it in from the goal line.
Hold
Hey,
on.
I'm tired. Phil can go punch it in if you need 2-3 yards. Phil can punch it in from the goal line. Phil got a little wiggle to him.
Mm-hmm.
I like Phil Maffa, man. I just think he can really be a compliment to Jay Will that is a different type of compliment than Jaden Blue is to Jay Will, which is Jaden Blue still needed. We'll get to him in a second.
I wish I could have a conversation with him because I'm kind of like I need him to elaborate on it because to me, you know what I hear when he's describing Phil is like he's limiting him to the pure power role. Like this is just what I'm hearing. Like okay, he can only do the short yardage things or the power type running back things. Like Shotty did say, we're gonna need a stable because we don't have a legit horse. You know, what's the term? Workhorse back type of thing. You know, we don't have. That's not a thing. So, okay, all will be needed. Yes, all would be needed, but I wish I could sit down and have a conversation with it because it's like it sounds like you want this to be like a carousel. And I don't think it should be like that. To be frank. Because like it's I just hear the plan of still trying to have that thunder lightning. But you just want to thunder lightning. And I think we're not hearing Shotty when he's emphasizing that the modern style of the team, like, okay, Blue's a changeup, but Blue being a changeup is going on a good day, he may get 5 carries. If Phil Maffa, or he may even get 3 carries. Because I believe that Blue is the replacement for Turpin, that wide back, or the replacement for CD. But saying that based off what we seen last year, no, man. I saw Maffa do a lot more than just the short yardage, and I saw burst from him. I saw finish from him. I saw him do a lot of the things. It was just a poor man's version of Javonte. I mean, he didn't seem limited or as limited. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going on.
We need as many guys as possible, to be honest. Like, I'm not.
Ooh, hold on, man. Hold on. Go back. I don't know why I stopped it there, Lou.
We need as many guys as possible, to be honest. Like, I'm not. I think Dallas ultimately, including Lipke, only ends up carrying 4.
Say it again.
We need as many guys as possible, to be honest. Like, I'm not. I think Dallas ultimately, including.
That's the one thing that's pissing me off about this whole situation right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. What's his name? I gotta fix that, but shout out Aisha though. Shout out Aisha on that, man. Shout out Aisha. That's the most important thing. That's pissing me off about, like, in terms of like the roster construction right now for the Cowboys. For like the fact that we need to get this sorted out, we're gonna need as many bodies as we possibly can. Now, like, it's crazy. Because when you look at receiver, we used to say that, but receiver is over there loaded. Bro, we had a receiver retire and they replaced it with 2 more receivers, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's keep going up. But Aisha, man, oh my gosh, she just cooked right there, man. Hold on.
Which is Jaden Blue still needed. We'll get to him in a second.
We need as many guys as possible, to be honest. Like I think Dallas ultimately, including Lipke, only ends up carrying 4 in total if Lipke is considered a running back.
Yeah,
Maybe
they're
3.
obviously gonna carry Lipke, yeah.
But I do believe like that. I do believe what you're saying about Phil Maffa. I think he's capable. On that sounds of the sideline thing, Brian Shiner was walking through talking to the players at practice and stuff. And he went by Jadon Blue and said, "Oh man, you just got it all on today, like something." I said, "His priorities still ain't straight."
Oh, don't do that.
That was me.
She's not lying, bruh. She's not. Shout out Landlord for pointing it out, and I went back to watch it. I see why I missed it. It was in the very beginning of it. She's not lying, bruh. She is not lying, bruh. I swear to God, she's not lying, bruh. Oh my God.
Like,
Coach just messing with Jay.
I'm laughing. No, I'm laughing.
You think? Hold on, y'all. Y'all think I'm lying? Hold on, man. Hold on. I was prepared. With
Let's go, baby. Let's go, Casey. Let's go, brother. Let's go, baby. Damn, you got a lot of ice on there.
Oh my God! Hold on. Hold on. Oh my God. Hold on.
Let's go, Casey. Let's go, brother. Let's go, baby. Damn, you got a lot of ice on there.
Happened because that's what happened. But remember what happened with the shoes last year? The cleats last year.
Well, he's a rookie last year. This year,
he's a nugget. He's a nugget.
Obviously improved in that era, in that manner, I believe.
No, Scott. No. We cannot say obviously. No. Shout out Landlord. Dog, I wish he was watching. Shout out for.
Let's go, Casey. Let's go, brother. Let's go, baby. Damn, you got a lot of ice on there.
I sure when Shotty said it, I was like, Shotty, because Shotty said it like he was trying to be funny. He wasn't saying it like.
Look at his face when he do it. Hold on.
Let's go, Casey. Let's go, brother. Let's go, baby. Damn, you got a lot of ice on there.
Stop, Shotty. You're knocking him out, Shotty. Stop it, Shotty. Stop it. Stop it.
He was saying it.
So, folks, she's not saying that this is a concern with Jaden Blue. This is more of a joke.
Oh, no.
Because people will take this and be like, oh. Jaden Blue ain't
No, there's something to this, bro. Hell no. I'm not finna we're not finna brush this over, bro. We ain't finna sit here and act like cause that happened to me, bro. I was the guy who did that and I got in trouble with the coach, bro. Like when you ain't prove yourself, but you trying to stand out, bro. I'm sorry. Like, if I was in Blue's situation, I'm not having more ice on than Justin Jefferson on game day. Can I say that, y'all? Can I say that? I'm not gonna have more ice on than Justin Jefferson. And y'all know Justin, every time Justin Jefferson be playing, he be greeting, every time he smiled, he be cracking the camera, all the ice on. I'm not gonna do that, bro, because he can do that. He a damn 60 million receiver. He can do that. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
change. I don't think that's the case when you listen to what Shadi and Jaden Blue say. There's clearly been a 180 in his approach.
But he was joking with him because I think he was making fun of him because you the same dude that came here with the Louis Vuitton cleats on that one.
I don't think he is though. That's what I'm trying to get to the fans. I don't think this is the same Louis Vuitton cleat wearing player than it.
I hope you're right, Sky, because we've been reading the what's names. I hope you're right. I really do.
No, it's not. But I was laughing when I seen it because Shotty was like, "Oh, you're shining today, bro." I said, "Y'all." But I guess that's the culture where you can laugh and joke about something that maybe you struggled with, the year before. But I think that he, as far as Jadon Blue, I think they want to carve out a role for him. I don't think that means that they won't have a role for Mafa if they don't change the room at all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I will say that at the beginning of OTAs and stuff, we were kind of looking at. I don't know if you were talking about, but I did think that maybe Malik Davis can make this team. I don't now with Phil Maffa and Jadon Blue. I don't believe that. I think he's gonna be.
I don't like that. I'm gonna say that right now. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? I just hate that. That's a thought that's just like unanimous across the nation right now. I really do feel bad for that right now. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I really do. Let me continue.
Ultimately, be a practice squad guy.
See, I really do hate that we automatically chalking up Malik Davis to being a practice squad guy. I really do. I really do hate that, especially with us not even started just yet, and we saw like I'm just saying, bro. Like I promise you, if this was normal circumstances and we didn't have the little eeriness going on up front office and everything like that, I promise you, bro. Like this would be like that's a problem, bro. That's a problem. I don't like how we automatically just writing off Malik Davis. We can't. Cause to me, there's nothing that Blue did, and you can even argue Maffa did, that warrant an immediate demotion, demerit from Malik Davis. There's absolutely nothing. There's nothing that they did. One dude, both of them ain't suited up all season. You can literally count on one finger of them playing. We cannot automatically write them in like that. I can't, man. And this is so why important that we need all the running backs in there, break the pool stick, and actually, bro, I need to see some fights going on. You know what I'm saying? Some metaphorical fight. But I'm saying some competition going on within there. Because right now, I just don't like, I don't like the space of it right there. I really don't.
So
yeah, a lot of people believe Malik is a running back. So I never believed that, and I always believed if he actually was, then your room didn't improve. And it's not a knock on Malik.
But Scott, here's my thing there. Respect to you, Scott. You can say that right now. The room did not improve. From a logical and numerical standpoint, we're going in with pretty much the same exact room we did last year. So by definition, you did not improve the room last year. I don't like that it's a conclusion because it's Malik Davis. No, you are literally walking into this year with the same exact room last year. And that's honestly the biggest thing I've been fighting for since trade deadline last year about them adding more, because in reality we are literally praying and hoping that the gains these guys made is enough, and I'm saying that it would never be a world where it's never enough, but I'm just saying if you create a competition where nobody's job is safe, I promise you'll bring the best out of it. So like, no, I do not agree with the fact that just because Malik Davis, if he's RB2, then then we just need the conclusion that we need to add more. Hell, if Blue somehow makes it on top, I'm saying, like, just being frank with you, you need to be adding more. Because at the end of the day, it's about getting what our coordinator wants. I don't like that. I don't like how the connotation if Blue makes it, it's enough. And if Malik Davis makes it, we need more. Because the same thing could be a lot said about other positions. If Overshown wins the Mike position, in my opinion, everybody ain't gonna be on my side. You need more Mikes. I'm just being honest with you. Like, I'm just being frank with you. If Deron Bland is your best corner, you need more corners. We could say that about a lot of different positions on this team, man. Okay, we can say that if Jay Ferguson is head above heels, that entire rest of that tight end room, you need more tight ends. I'm just being frank with you because I know what we've been seeing, and what we've been seeing is not enough. So by definition, we have already not upgraded that room. So yeah, man, like I just, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah. Shout out to everybody coming here though. But let's move on because shout out to you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go to, you know, the guys brought, you know, the guys at Crown Global Medias that still staying on the offense. They had some interesting topics I wanted to hit on really quick. Let me see. Yep, that one right there.
Let's see a lookout guy.
So they have a like a segment they're doing right here. It's called Look Out. Like, look out for this kid. Watch out, man. Look out, man. You know, like, hey, watch out. Get out the way. Basically, get out the way. So that's a segment they did. Honestly, I would have told them like, hey, let's do something else. But you know, shout out to Sky and 2 Out. We're gonna come back to them on that subject right there. But let's move on. Let's go. We're gonna go around. Like this is gonna be sorry to hit the mic. This is gonna be an exercise we're gonna do probably throughout the year. Like because I'm gonna be having my ear to the ground, and if I have something to say, the South is gonna have something to say.
This is one of those. God, I hate myself right now. I hate it because in my mind, as you said his name, I was thinking, look
Salute Boston here, man.
out, and then I was thinking, look out.
Mm-hmm.
And he is the one player that I say look out because if things kind of all of a sudden the running back situation turns into it's Williams, he has to run, he has to catch, he has to block because nobody else was able to do the blocking aspect of it. You're going to need somebody to be able to step up in there and play that third down role of the, you know, at least stand in there and pick up blitzes. And, you know, if you have to occasional check down, whatever.
If Phil Maffa proves to be a more than adequate blocker, what happens to Hunter Lipke?
You use the word more than adequate.
Good as hell. Let's just say he's good.
Good as hell.
Because he showed us that he had the ability to do it last year.
If he is accomplished as a blocker,
Mm-hmm.
then you can do that with Hunter Lipke.
Look out.
Look out.
I don't like that. I don't. And here's my reason for it. Can I be honest with you? I don't like the tone that's been on Hunter Lipke's name. And it's like this every year. Can I hey man, hold on, man. Can we be frank real quick, man? Like every season, it seems like the one position everybody want to get rid of, it be Hunter Lipke. And I get it. We paid him $7 million and we haven't used them and everything like that. They're saying to get out of here. But like the thing is, Shoddy scheme, where he comes from, where he derives from, uses the fullback. His dad uses the fullback. I think it's the result of us not using the fullback. It's probably the result of us how we feel about the running back room. Let me break that down. I feel like we can't get into a lot of the extra heavy personnel because we be worried about the health of Javonte Williams. Just being frank with you. So we can't line up and do that all game long because we don't feel confident of the guy who's behind him. And I would never trust Phil Maffa in that role. The lead blocker role, pass protector, sure. You know what I'm saying? Sure, I get you on that because Hunter Lipke shouldn't be out there pass protection because you're basically giving away that it's a pass. And that's going against what Shoddy said, that he doesn't like being in that situation with his running backs, having guys out there where they're actually very limited and they give away his hand. So, like, no, I really believe that if you fix RB2, You actually find somebody in here, you're gonna see us use Hanalupke a lot more because Javonte is gonna be fresher. And not only are you gonna see him be used a lot more, you're gonna see him be effective too. I promise you're gonna see him be effective. And Shotty said it early in this offseason that he's gonna use more split back. Who's the other? Y'all do know what the other back is, right? It's the halfback and the fullback traditionally. So, but I get what they're trying to do right here. I wouldn't want to, connect it like that. You know what I'm saying? I really wouldn't. I'm like,
You could just look out. Yeah. But if you don't get that, I don't know if you and I got in this discussion. God, we do too many platforms.
We do a lot of shows, man.
We do a lot of shows.
All good.
I got into this discussion of like trying to, what if Jadon Blue proves that everything that we think he is, that there's that explosiveness to his game.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden it's 4.5, 5 yards, 7 yards. You're getting carries like that from him.
Sure.
What's keeping you from starting him and using Williams as? And people will tell me this, and they say it in the comments. I read the comments every day. They're saying the disrespect we show for Williams is bad.
That ain't even true.
And that's not true.
We love Javonte Williams.
That's not true at all.
We some smiling motherfuckers when it comes to Javonte Williams.
That is not true at all. I have nothing but utmost respect.
We just talking about the bottom of the roster, that's all.
But that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. But is there a scenario where Blue starts, Williams takes over as the key role of third down, runner, catcher, blocker, and that way he doesn't get completely wore down by week 14?
Before you answer, my rebuttal is hell no. I absolutely hate this idea. And let me add this in here. People gonna think it's because I hate Blue. It's not even that. It's because Blue does not fit. If Blue comes in, mysteriously coming in 20 pounds heavier, then sure, let's talk about it. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, people think we just want power backs in here. But Shotty, and we've said it before, that Shotty has led off with a guy who's not traditionally like the bigger back, even though they still fitted measurably. Because the guy he mentioned, if y'all listen when he was talking about Blue in OTAs, was LT, LaDainian Tomlinson. He talked about LaDainian Tomlinson. LaDainian Tomlinson has played for both Marty and Shotty. Made them a lot of money. So, and that's why he said, until you can be the workhorse back, you got to fill in this role. So, me going in here, Blue is not finna turn into LT overnight, or he ain't finna turn into a workhorse back overnight. Thus, I can, and I don't care how much y'all hoping people can say, the one thing I'm 99% sure he ain't finna come into cap better than Javonte Williams. He's just not. Let's hear the rebuttal, though.
We don't disrespect Javonte Williams. He was incredibly productive.
Very productive.
But what if Jahmyr Gibbs was here? Let's just have a conversation for a second. What if Jahmyr Gibbs?
Vaught, you scaring me. Let's hear you out.
Gibbs was here. What do you then do with Javonte Williams? What if Bijan was here?
He becomes the third down guy.
What if Bijan was here? Mm-hmm. Let's not even take.
Okay, I love what you're going, because that's where we was going. Remember that's why we were saying the RB1 duo last year. We were saying get in the. Finna get mad. You know why I'm finna get mad? I just remember because when we was suggesting this idea, people was fighting us on this.
Take an extreme. Let's say what if Devon A-Chain was here?
Yeah.
You keep going down that list and you start running out of names in that kind of way. Javonte was incredibly productive for what he was asked to do.
Yeah.
But that ain't really what you want him doing for real.
Yes, I agree. And we was saying in the midst of him getting what he ended up with, like 1,200 yards. We were saying in the midst of him averaging 4.8 yards a carry, people was on the line, and we were saying, bro, Javonte is not an RB1. You can tell he just, like, some people just got that intuition, just got the football eyes, and we can know, like, hey, man, he ain't a workhorse. He ain't somebody. I'm just saying, like, put it all on your back. Let's go. Let's ride. He ain't one of them. So he need help. And everybody I'm gonna start calling RB police. You know who the RB police, Alphabet Boys. You know what I'm saying? Colorful charts started coming out again and trying to tell us we already had an efficient run game, even though it's like even in the midst of prosperity, we still can't see what we need to work on to improve, to be perfection. Because even if it looked like prosperity, it can still be flawed. And that's what we was trying to tell people. Sometimes you can look in the midst of the prosperity and be like, okay, there's a leak right there. And there's a problem. If we don't fix it, if we can fix it, it could be even more dangerous than what it is. You know what I'm saying? Right, boss? Like we was mentioning Williams. Exactly. Williams is not a Taylor. But remember when people was fighting us, telling us like, oh, boss, he better than Taylor. He better than what? Sometimes I admire the amount of positivity. It's not even positivity. That's not positivity. That's just pure reckless. That's cowboy culting. I'm gonna say that's cowboy culting.
You don't want Javonte carrying the ball 25 times.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what? We know what a perfect example of this is, Brian? Jerome Bettis and Willie Parker. That's a perfect example. Jerome Bettis was as beloved as it gets. But as a main guy, that ain't what his job should be.
Right.
Perfect.
Jerome Bettis was better after Willie Parker ran around and some shit, and then Jerome came in and finished and ran everybody over. That's what that was.
Right.
Marion and Felix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Javonte would probably be better. He'll get less yards. He'll be less productive, but the run game would be better.
Can I play it? Can I play this real quick? Because he's taking us to church right now. And we were trying to preach to people in the midst of it when it was happening. But people were so, they was in the midst of, you know what I'm saying, in the back with the booger sugar of all the hopium in there. They was slapping, you know what I'm saying, and fighting us. We were saying like, hey, man, what if we get this though? Like, hey, I'm telling you, he's dope right now, and it'll look good in terms of the box score and the yardage. He averaging 6 on the ground, but what if we can preserve him even more? Because this power and this level of intensity he's playing with, I want to maintain that. People couldn't see that. We got called a bad guy. We got immediately placed in the box because everybody didn't want to be intellectually curious. No one wanted to be intellectually curious. Everybody wanted to be intellectually lazy and live in the moment. Do you fan how you fan, pick up your Bud Light and live it up. But me, I think, bruh, adding another running back to that team, I swear to God, it would have saved that defense. And I stand on it. And no one wants to believe that. I promise you, it actually to a fault. If we would have had another running back right now, I promise you, Eberflus wouldn't have been fired. Even though I still want him fired. But that's just how confident I felt. The plan of adding a back to Javonte would have made us so dangerous as a team, minus a CD. Even when CD eventually came back, we would have been an even more dangerous defense. And I promise you, we would have probably been the perfect offense ever. Even better than the great Chiefs years, because we just so well built that you can't figure us out. The moment you try to lean your resources to one end, to GP, we gonna punish your ass. And it's gonna be a hurting too. You know what I'm saying? Look.
Yeah, maybe the position would be better.
Javonte got wore down, man.
I agree with you.
Javonte got wore down.
And I think people take it as disrespect that I'm trying to make him and put him in the role that I feel like that he will be the absolute best at.
And just to be fair, Jalen Blue is Joe Roundel right now. He hasn't proven that he can step.
If he
But
did,
what we're doing,
if he did show us,
we're making projections that he can come in and take over and be the burst guy.
Right.
Then what?
Yeah.
If Jaden Blue can take over first and second downs, third down is perfect for Javonte.
I think
that's where I disagree. Hell no. And I understand what they're saying. They're talking about the short yardage. But first and second down is mainly where your power run. Oh, no. You just got to find another back. Because I'll tell you, I'm only using Blue if he's improved on third down, passing situations, when I want just pure matchups. But I understand what they're saying. They're saying situationally. I'm just saying, right, T-Church. And Randall is, I wasn't going to say it, but Randall is better than Blue. I'm telling y'all, I think people are just fascinated with speed, and they just pair it with another guy with speed and say, hey, they're the same. That's why when Blue was taken, who's another guy that was taken in the draft that was high priority? Jahmyr Gibbs. Who else was fast? Who was a cowboy? Who was a fast cowboy running back? Let's say he's him. Nah, man. All speed ain't created the same, and I'm gonna say it. Speed for a running back is overrated. I'm just not saying I want a slow guy. I just rather have a bursty guy.
To me, is he more valuable to you as a third down back or as a starter?
Javonte?
Yeah.
This is why he's super valuable as a third down guy.
Yeah.
Because you don't tip your hand when he's on the field.
I agree.
Let's just talk offense for a second.
Man, hold on. If I could sit down with these gentlemen, as y'all know, I got a memory like a cat. I would have said, Botch, you said exactly what Shotty's been worried about in terms of the backup running back position. That's what makes Javonte such a fit. Because you're not giving away what you're trying to do. So why would you put that in the first down? Why would you, if we already acknowledging he has faults and everything like that, why are we gonna make him the first down? I see, this is why we wanted Javonte to be the second guy off the bench in the rotation for these short yards, because he can still hit you. He's versatile within it. So my question is, why would you lead off with Blue? That's my only concern. I understand what they're saying. It's our plan. We were saying with an RB1 duo, we was trying to hit at, but I got questions about the execution.
If Javonte is on the field on third downs, you don't tip your hand. If Hunter Lipke is on the field, what you think happened?
We're throwing.
Hold on 1 second, y'all. My dog. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Hold on. Swear to God, every time, that's why I be leaving his ass out there. Because every time I hop on, I just let him in, and he want to go back outside. Timing every time. Shout out to everybody coming in here, though. Let's see. Did we already hit the mark? We're close to it.
You know what I'm saying? If Jadon Blue, as he currently is right now, if he's on the field, you going, man, Jadon, he ain't even block nobody. Yeah. Jadon, they probably...
Exactly, Vach. So my question is, why would you want to lead off with that? Here's my question. Why do y'all want to put... If he doesn't improve that aspect of this game, why are we even playing him at all in the major roles within the game? That would be my question to Vach, Brian, and my question to Sky. Do you understand? Like, because I want everyone who thinks we're on a negative train. My coach said he does not like being in a bind in terms of play calling. So if the guy out there ain't versatile enough, why are we putting a non-versatile guy on the field a lot? That's my key. He can be out there when we want to let them know, like, hey, we attacking matchups right here. But at the same time, bro, like if we don't have enough versatile guys, we need to be doing like Aisha said and getting more guys in here. Just being frank.
The ball to him, so we could probably dial up some blitz or whatever. You become predictable in that way. If Javonte is on the field, he can catch it, he can run.
Right, boss. Shout out Henny in the building. Hold on, Henny said, right, go get Kamara. Kamara I think Kamara is probably the most perfect mate, probably even more perfect than Chubb to Javonte, because it will fill everybody's itch in terms of having that speed, that home run speed. It'll fill our itch into having. Kamara is a bigger back. He's pretty big, even for like when he was like at his peak athleticism, he was still big. You know what I'm saying? And like I think he's like that balanced back. He's versatile. He's the ultimate mark of versatility. Still hold his own in pass protections, like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, and right, boss. I hate because all of this talk that we've been having, like I've been hearing, and shout out to all the brethren that they doing amazing content. We're talking pure projection. I can't believe we're still talking projection for a guy in year 2. And here's the worst thing about it. It's like, in order for us to even have these conversations and even for it to sound sane, we have to take out the fact that Jadon Blue missed 90% of the year in terms of like not suiting up. It's everything, and I do mean everything, is purely projection. That's why I did not like when Scott was saying that he pretty much knew already that Malik Davis is now RB2. If he's RB2, then we need to be adding to it. Because my counter argument, I said, hell, if Jadon Blue is actually RB2, you need to be adding more to it. Because that'd be my counter. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the fact that we already marking off Malik Davis for the practice squad, but everybody else, okay, that's the real competition. Because honestly, what it sounds like, and that's what pisses me off, is that we didn't get enough guys in here for legit competition. If we already marking off Malik Davis and the competition between Malik and Jadon Blue, like let me just put that in words for y'all. The running back position competition for backup running back is between the same two guys that the Dallas Cowboys drafted last year that missed 90% of the year in terms of not suiting up. Just think about that. Would another contender do that? Would another contender do that? It's people who had better running back in rooms than us that added to it. It goes back to the competition aspect of it.
He could block. He could lead block for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Javonte could do everything you want him to do,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't get that wear and tear.
See,
He doesn't get worn down over the course of the season.
If I was in that room,
this is why it should have been priority, and I do mean priority of loading up on guys in general to add to this room, because that's the main issue that we're trying to fix, is that Javonte and his style is so bruising, so violent that it's almost a guarantee that he's going to wear down.
We should have drafted a running back this year. Yeah, I would have rather drafted a guy than him take.
What'd you say, Vaj? Hold on.
We should have drafted a running back this year. I would have rather drafted a guy than him taking. We should have drafted a running back this year. I would have rather drafted a guy than him taking. We should have drafted a running back this year. I would have rather drafted a guy than him taking Drew Shelton, but after the running back this year, the season. I would have rather drafted a guy than him taking Drew Shelton, but that's, he's here now. But I would have loved to have drafted a guy.
Vaj, you hurting me, because you just open up a wound and nobody gonna talk about it. This is why we love Vaj, man. Vaj on a big platform. A lot of people will be afraid to say that. We said that on night 0. We said that as soon as they said the pick. No, it's as soon as they wrapped up the 4th round, everybody on DC Universe was pretty much throwing a fit because of who's available. And I think all of our running backs were available. All the running backs were available around them picks, bro. See, everybody else gonna forget it. But if them picks in the 4th round end up not even being guys who contribute to this team, I probably won't forgive the Dallas Cowboys for that. Y'all can, but I won't, because I remember who all was on that board. Shout out to Vox, man, and shout out to, you know what I'm saying, doing all right. We're going to come back to him, but we pretty much hit the spot on this one. One last of the offense, and then we're going to head to defense real fast. This is a very interesting one. It was between Spanford and Spanford and Ferguson. Very good conversation they had, though.
I'll come back with you on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Brevin Spanford, hope or reality?
Reality. Even from looking at practices, they're doing quite a few things. If I'm not mistaken, Brevin is Dak's biggest target out there.
Size-wise?
Size-wise.
Yeah.
Radius, all that stuff. And as you even saw Dak work with Kevontae Turpin, Kevontae Turpin doesn't have a big catch radius. So Dak's ball placement with Turpin, and we see it show up sometimes, is something that he had to work. You can tell that him and Brevin have been working together. You can notice that some of where he
And Ball, this is why we got to fight. What she just said right here about that Kevontae Turpin stuff. I don't want that little bitty target on my field no more. That's just me. He can field punts for me from now on. That's just me. I'm open, but yeah, we're gonna have to fight about that.
he's placing the ball for him, he can't place it there for nobody else at that size.
Sure.
And I believe that Dallas, there's no way that we talking about competition. He's earned it. We cannot praise Ryan Flanoy and not talk about Brevin.
Ooh! Say that again one more time.
And we cannot praise Ryan Flanoy and not talk about Brevin.
1,000%. 1,000%. Because it's pretty much been the same exact story on the other side of the coin. Instead of the skill position, we now in the trenches with it. You know, a little mid skill. But yes, because Brevin Spanford has more than earned it, though. Let's keep going.
Because he does the special teams work. He does the dirty work. He does all that stuff. He's earned it. And I think that reality is that Dallas sees that he's earned it. He can be on the field every damn play if he wants to. To me.
I agree.
I'm over this. I'm over the other stuff at this point.
Do you think Spanford will end up being better than Fergie? Tight end one type?
I think it's possible.
I like this answer.
He doesn't have he's a natural athlete. It's going to take a little bit more to develop, like, obviously, the receiving part, but just as an all-around guy, possibly.
People don't really talk about it like how. See, I'm going to be honest. I was probably one of the most, I was probably maddest when I was, because, you know, we watch the film after every game. Probably going to do it this year. Watch the film after every game. Again, the one common theme that I actually I saw was the amount of, like, the least amount of time, the low amount of, like, the frequency of snaps that Span was doing. And I promise you, because they grade the film, I was grading the film too. Span was walking out, the amount of time Span walked out with like at least 100 or 80, because you know, in football grading, 85 and above is passing. But he was getting 85 and above. I'm like, bro, Span, good block. Bro, Span, good block. Span, good block right there. Good route right there. You did your job. You were open. Just the amount of times I was just giving him pluses is insane. But I couldn't say that for the other two tight ends. I'm gonna let them keep going though.
Yeah,
he can do stuff inline. He can do stuff outside on this. Like, I think he can really grow into something different.
Okay.
What do you guys? I mean, what?
No, I'm
how
a
are you
Ferguson
feeling?
defender, and it might be just because I really like Jake.
I love me some Fergie, but
I was going to tell you
Maybe
this.
I'm a little biased.
what?
On this pad, I've got a hope or reality for Jake Ferguson.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of them. I think Ferguson, I have more hope that he's going to get back to where he was 2 years ago. The reality might be he just is what he was last year, which still is a productive tight end.
Yeah.
But my hope is that he can get to like that top 5-10 type of tight end in football. I think the reality could very well be that he is, you know, your 600-yard, 8-touchdown guy that doesn't have the yak ability that we hoped that he did. I think it's reality with Brevin Spanford, though, because you saw, and I'm with you, him and
I actually like this answer that he's giving. Shout out to Zach Wolchuk on that. Let me get some. The only thing I disagree with him on, and I get what he's trying to say. He's saying that he's wherever we saw Fergus, whatever we saw him is last year, that is his peak. I just think that the stats, even as unimpressive that they were still elevated because we was targeting him a lot more than what we were. You know what I'm saying? So that's my only thing with Ferg. I think that's what he is. Did we use him to the fullest of ability? You know, some will argue, I can hear that argument. But at the same time, I just feel like Ferg is not the yak guy like he used to be. He's a very inconsistent blocker, and he hasn't been the same since the concussion. So, yeah.
and Flo, I think, were the two guys that had the biggest jumps from year one to year two.
Mm-hmm.
And they put in the work, man. And you're absolutely right, too. People don't probably know the full stories of what went into that because, you know, Brian, one thing that really stood out when we talked about this was you talking about, like, Brevin Spanford just doesn't look comfortable catching the football.
Right.
And so, like, anytime we were out there at camp, I'm watching. I'm like, damn, yeah, it looks like the ball like kind of beats him up a little bit.
I thought some World Cup vibe.
Yes.
Soccer goalie,
Yes.
hands apart, trying to parry the ball away, but the hands have
Damn, Brian, take it easy on it.
become better. Though.
Much better. Like he
Softer.
looks much
Yes.
more natural.
That is such a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's, that's what I was trying to say earlier, is that it looks more natural, and you can very quickly tell he's done quite a bit of work with that.
Yeah. And the blocking with him, like that was one of his best attributes coming out of Minnesota. And unlike Luke Schoonmaker, he actually has been a pretty good blocker in the National Football League. So I'm buying it, and I do wonder if there's a world, and I don't want it to happen because I'm pulling for both these guys. It'd be great if you could have some legit 12 personnel tight end packages.
Pray
But
saints.
like maybe if Ferg doesn't take that next step to kind of show a little bit more of that athleticism after the catch, could you maybe be looking at Brevin Spanford if he continues to progress, kind of eclipsing him on the depth chart or leaping him in the depth chart a little bit? And yeah, I mean, I think I got more hope for Ferg. I got more reality right now for Spanford.
Shout out to the stack, okay? Well, we're going to take a break real fast. And, shout out to the sponsors of the video. Shout out PrizePicks. Going to put in a lineup. WNBA is underway. I already had, who I was feeling. Where's he at? I think it was Kennedy Carter, 13.5. I follow a lot of basketball podcasts that even cover the WNBA too. So I'm gonna take the over on that, and they're playing the New York Lynx. So I'm gonna say the Chelsea Gray also. The more on that too. So shout out to them. Oh, actually, I can't do that. See, they let you know. See, shout out to to them. They said they can't be from the same team. So look, we're gonna go with Sabrina Ionescu. I wonder if she still got the number one shoe in the league. They said her shoe was fire, like even for like a women's shoe, even for like a men's shoe, like it was fire. So that's gonna be the lineup. We're gonna submit that. So shout out to PrizePicks, man. For more information on that, check down in the description for more information on that. Okay. So let me get back to the video. Let me see. So now we're going to transition to the defense, and we're going to go right back to what we started with the I want to hear that. Hold on. One more time for the.
Let's go, Casey. Let's go, brother. Let's go, baby. Damn, you got a lot of ice on that. Dog.
Oh my God. Oh my
Casey,
God.
let's go, brother. Let's go, baby. Damn, you got a lot of ice on that. Dog.
Oh my God, man. let's go to the defense, man. Okay, because Shotty funny. Funny guy, man. That's a funny guy. I'm telling you right now. That's a funny guy. That's a funny guy indeed, man. That man right there, man. All right. All right, let's start on this. This is the defense, and I think this is the overall. Hold on 1 second, y'all. 1 second, real quick. Let me take a break real fast. Hold on. salute y'all for waiting, man. Y'all the real ones and everything like that. A little emergency on the phone. You know, just we got to make sure family's okay. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sky Skies in the building. Yep, we reacted to your video and Crown Global. All right, we going to defense now. All right. I think this is it. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Pause. Hold on. Lou, you gonna mess up the audio. Yeah. All right. I didn't want to mess up the audio. Hold on. All right.
It's probably going to be the most complete defense he's had, and by complete I mean they can do a little bit of everything, and they're not so heavily reliant on one or two things. Because you remember when there was no pass rush, it was less turnovers, and Dan Quinn's defenses were heavily reliant on turnovers. Not discounting
or having a lead.
Yeah,
I get what she means. She's saying we're going to be able to play multiple ways versus what we did in the 12 and 5 years with DQ. I wouldn't use the word. I just forgot the word she just used. What she meant, like, well-rounded. Let me see.
do a little bit of everything, and then
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Because I still think there's parts of this defense, even on paper, I still have questions about of what we can do. Like, I think we're gonna be a very good run defense team by a lot. I think we're gonna be a better secondary than we've had. I don't like. You can still compare what the secondary we have now, and if it's even better than what we had in the 12 and 5 years. That's a legitimate argument, even with the safety play, because we had. Even in hindsight, I know a lot of people don't like it, but those were the elite years of Deron Blunt and Trayvon Diggs. You know what I'm saying? So my only question is, and then like for this defense, we don't have I don't trust the pass rush. I don't trust. We have a lot of questions at the pass rush. A lot. Like too many. Versus that defense. I know what you're saying. That defense was very reliant, but the thing is, we was literally one piece away on that 12. If we just got a legitimate nose tackle, like we was telling them to do, or them building on what they had in the D tackle they got from Seattle that we let go, which I don't know why they did that. And we legit added the D tackle play. I think we would easily said that defense was also could do everything, because we would have finally ready and built to. And add a linebacker, get the Bobby Wagner when DQ was wanting it. Like we was just 1.5 pieces away. I don't even think it was a full 2 pieces. If we just get one of those pieces, I feel like we was a much better defense built for almost every single situation. But I get what she's saying though.
they're not so heavily reliant on one or two things. Because you remember when there was no pass rush, it was less turnovers, and Dan Quinn's defenses were heavily reliant on turnovers. Not discounting
or having a lead.
Yeah, or having a lead, but the interior was a little weaker. People could run down your throat. If you weren't turning the ball over,
I agree.
the correlation to wins and turnovers was very, evident and stuff. So I just think he sees it, and you can tell he can see that what Christian Parker is doing. He's going against it in practice.
Yep.
He's like, oh, this might be work. This might be better. Like these guys know what works.
Hey, and real quick before we go on, you mentioned also in your notes that they're emphasizing turnovers, and I know that sounds that may just sound mundane, like everybody's emphasizing turnovers, but I remember the last 2 years, specifically Zimmer came in and said we ain't doing that no more, because when every time it looked like on film and I watched they were emphasizing turnovers, they would make a mistake fundamentally that caused a big play. So he specifically said at his press conference, we ain't doing that. So quit.
I get what he's trying to say, but I don't think he worded it that way. See the difference between Zim and DQ? Zim because Zim's specialty is the secondary. Well, a lot of people don't understand. Don't remember. That was his. Zimmer specialized in the secondary, so he does not believe in playing out a phase like the way that what's our guy in Chicago, the way that it allowed them to do. But at the same time, that we played out of phase because you just had a generational pass rusher, so you could. I wouldn't say that Zimmer he didn't want them being ultra aggressive to the point they're out of their responsibility because he cared about your responsibility. Because at the end of the day, the reason why he cared about the responsibility because Zimmer had a disguise-based defense. So in order for the disguise to work, you can't be. We're not doing traditionally what we did with DQ, where we're playing a lot of man. Because DQ adapted because he was normally a cover three. We was playing a lot of man, and you can afford to get out of position. No, like with Zimmer basically said like, hey, everybody need to get right because there's a lot of moving pieces into this madness. And you saw it. I'm telling you, my favorite year for this defense, and I'm gonna always say it, my favorite year in terms of a D coordinator play and the job they did was that Zimmer's defense. Because Zimmer, the beginning of the year, everyone was clamoring about how everybody was not only learning, but they were learning their cog to the wheel of the entire system of how it went. That was the first time I've ever heard Micah say out of his mouth that, okay, he couldn't necessarily fly up out of this gap because we are in this too high shell coverage and you putting too much stress on the safety. Like that was the first time I think a D coordinator actually broke it down and telling you like, hey, you are great, but I need you to maintain this assignment because this is what I'm trying to do. This is my why. You know what I'm saying? Versus I believe DQ, he had to very much so play or coach them. He was very much so leaning in to the superstardom that we had on this defense to fill in and make up for the holes that we had. If that makes sense.
Asking. And then obviously with Flus, that wasn't, he was a turnover producer in regards to the production and where he's been, but it was because of, this being disciplined in the schematics and being simple, just being pretty simple. This isn't going to be a simple scheme, and I'm very interested to know what you mean by they're emphasizing it when you see it out there on the field.
So I think how did I say emphasizing? Let's see, this team. That's what I said. That's what I said. I said I'm not correcting you for a bad reason. I wanted to correct you because it goes with my point. This team is expecting turnovers.
Gotcha.
And I think that mediates some of what you were just saying is if you in the right place, right time, and your mechanics are the same, and this is something because, like, again, they're teaching all the guys to punch the ball out. They teaching all the guys. Like, everybody's having to do some of this defensive line stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real in these drills. They're making all the DBs go through it. They go through, so I'm just like, I think that they are expecting for there to be tip balls. They're expecting for balls to hit the ground or to jar balls loose. So they're emphasizing hand-eye coordination and reaction and just getting used to when how many times did Dallas have almost sacks or almost turnovers? Even when Dan Quinn was here, where you're like, dang, that was almost a pick. Dang, they didn't recover.
But I get what you're saying, but not with Dan. We were top one. We were number. The worst we were with Dan was number 3 in turnovers. We were getting the ball with Dan. That was ooh-wee. But I get what you're saying. This is a good thing about him emphasizing turnovers. Now, hopefully it translates because I remember when they were doing, and they was in the process like of even interviewing Christian Parker, and that was one of the knocks against him that he didn't come from a scheme that necessarily I don't want to say they prioritized turnovers. They probably prioritized it, but it just didn't necessarily resulted in them being on top of the league. You look at the Eagles, the Broncos, where he went, they was always middle of the pack. Now maybe if you add in fumbles, that can be a different aspect. And then even like Ryan Smith, in terms of the Cardinals, they were even lower in terms of interceptions because they was just in very passive schemes, or they was in the shell scheme. They wasn't necessarily like passive like Eberflus, but they weren't leading the league like the Texans and who's another team that led the league? Like the Vikings. That's why we was clamoring about Flores and them because they led the league in terms of turnovers. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this does translate.
They forced the fumble, but they didn't recover it. it seems like he's like, we're gonna be in position to force turnovers, but we need to
Execute.
recover them. We need to be yes, we that needs to be a normal thing for us to dive on a ball, to look for a tip ball in the air, because that was a lot of Philly's defense picks were short window throws, by the way. So I just think that's what they're working on right now. Some of the stuff I've seen Christian Parker working with the DB specifically is like, you need to be able to pick the ball up off of somebody's shoelaces, because we're going to turn the ball over. And I like that energy.
With
It sounds like you really emphasizing a tip drill, which, you know, I do love. You know what I'm saying? We emphasizing the tip drill. Excuse
this
me.
defense that is going to make quarterbacks think, right? I mean, you get some veteran quarterbacks who may be able to decipher it a little better than some of these young guys, but there's going to be opportunities, I think, for it to hit you straight in the hands, right? Because of where he's putting these guys in position, or where he's going to. We haven't seen it yet, but the expectation is that they're going to be in position to make these type of plays. Where last year there was no making the quarterback think. We know what you're going to be in. It was 2 or 3 plays you ran. And
Boy, I'm so glad everybody in Cowboy Nation agree with that. When I say we couldn't stand Eberflus, I couldn't stand Eberflus in his schemes. That's why I was mad when we was going into arguments online, because people was acting like, oh, he running palms and he running advanced coverages and he running Meg. Then that boy was not running no damn advanced coverages. We was going out there and running high school level defenses. Like we were just spot dropping the entire time. And that boy did not change. I'm really surprised he kept his job the whole year. I'm just saying, I really am.
And if you made a turnover against this defense, like if you threw a turnover against this defense, you was just a bum on that.
Just for the guy, because but I always make a joke on this. Tre'Queze Bridges, he got a pick last year. If anybody know, it was versus the Broncos. He got beat on the play. Bo Nix just threw it behind him. Not calling Bo Nix a bum. He actually had a great year last year. But it was just a major brain fart. That's how much you had to like make it a mistake in Eberflus' scheme. Tre'Queze, he got burnt. Like the receiver burnt him. And Bo just threw it behind him. And I'm talking about like yards behind him too. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad.
It's kind of how it looked like. But it was a stat last year that we talked about on this show. I still don't think it's enough, airwaves. The Cowboys had one game, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe it still stands because it was at the end of the season, where the defense forced more than one turnover.
How much of a bet? I bet it was that Washington game. I bet it was that Washington game too. I bet it was that Washington game where no receiver played, not even Terry. I bet it was that Washington game.
One game. I believe that was the worst in the Jerry Jones owner era for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think we should just brush that under the rug. Like, you can't go from being the turnover team in the league to not being able to get turnovers at all at a high rate. Like, there has to be some middle ground.
Please. When you talk about it and you specify like that, it makes me ticked off. Because what we realized last year, because when you were talking about the fact of them being in position, when the cornerbacks wasn't that much, but when they did get in the, like, I remember even Deron Bland, they got an opportunity to play man. It was like, oh, look, guys, he made a break of the ball.
Yeah,
that boy was still getting fried. Still getting fried.
They didn't get a lot of breakups either. Pass breakups.
But yeah, they were playing these soft zones so often. Yep. And on top of that, your pass rush didn't win quickly. So these people are quick gaming you to death. And
ooh, hold on. Let me back it up because she said it. Hold on.
There's quickly. And on top of that, your pass rush didn't win quickly.
I hate it glitched right there. Hold on.
Your pass rush didn't win quickly.
Because honestly, that's what irks me. The pass rush was inadequate last year. And we did what we did, man. I really hope it's fixed, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's not, y'all gonna see an angry Lou in the streets. I'm gonna tell you that for sure, because all them people was like, "Oh, let's be like Seattle and everything like that." That room worth that room is worth $150 million right now, dog. I swear, if we just copied their books and just wanted cheap DNs just for the fuck of it, I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna lose my mind on game day. Y'all gonna see me crash out. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna give it about 8 weeks. No, that's too many because I think week 7, that's when the trade deadline. By trade deadline, I'm gonna probably crash out about 1 or 2 times. I'm tell you that right now. You can guarantee me on that because that's a for sure. Shout out to what I'm saying, Sky and 2i on this 2i show. Let's keep moving. Let's go back to Crown Global. They had a very interesting topic that I think nobody is talking about, but we mentioned it briefly. That and
Not involved at all.
I think this is a conversation we probably need to be having more. It probably don't matter because this position group is loaded now. But Jay Toia and his fit in his scheme.
Trying to get to the level.
2 guards got to get hurt for Keegan to get involved.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's why I would say, look out.
Do you think the Cowboys are looking for help at interior offensive line?
I do. I don't think that you can now looking for help. Let's define that.
Okay.
Are they out there actively, eternally, or we've seen him snap at least.
With the Eagles, he plays center, so
we've seen all as well.
Okay.
Last year Trevor Keegan was a lookout man because he just wasn't talented as the guys that was just like we would look at Bass and Hoffman at camp, we have to keep eyes on Keegan.
Yeah, but you know this. If Hennessy was here,
it'd be Hennessy.
Yeah, Hennessy. It'd be Hennessy.
What about Jay Toia?
Boom, there you go. All right, found it.
Is he hey man, year 2 for Jay Toia, look out?
Yeah.
Or is he man, they done signed a bunch of defensive tackles in this thing, look out, man. But think about his body type. He's a 350 guy. How many, or a 320 guy? How many 320 guys they got? Yeah. Brian, what's your outlook on
this is a very interesting question because that's my thing. Like, so in order for Jay Toia to be able to fit in the scheme, he got to be able to be on a trajectory that he can 2 gap or 1.5 gap, which means like he can fire within the gap, and I can see him be able to fight over through a guard, be strong enough, be technically sound to be able to get in the other gap that he has responsibility for. And that's going to be the difference between if Jay Toia fits or if he doesn't fit within the scheme.
Jay Toia, which lookout guy is he? I
think he's a lookout guy, and I don't think it's listen. There's things that Jay Toia, he's got to prove to me that he plays 330 pounds.
That's real.
Ooh. Can you say that one more time for us? Hold on.
I don't think it's listen. There's things that Jay Toia, he's got to prove to me that he plays 330 pounds.
That's real.
Oh.
This is Butters, you know what I'm saying? You just sit back and cool out to some of my smooth tunes, okay? All right? Is that cool? Yeah. All right, here we go.
Nobody ain't gonna talk about this because the D tackle room we good. But dog, that's a bar. Because what he's saying is you 330 pounds by weight, and is 330 considered overweight for you? Can you maintain your strength while being this big? That's a loaded ass answer right there. Because he basically saying to me like, because everybody remember was saying like, oh, the get off with Jay Toia last year. But when it came to the strip, even though we know like it takes 3 years for these guys to cook. But no, this is because now we're getting closer and closer to where like we gotta really crank up, even with us having Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark here, we gotta crank up the evaluation on you and your development within it and see if you're another Osa guy. Like, are you a guy that fire up in the gap? You know what I'm saying? Do you fit the 4 down scheme or do you fit the 3-4 personnel scheme? Which we're going to still be in 4 down alignments, but we're going to be in the 3-4 personnel scheme. Are you a 0? Can you play the 4-eye? Can you play the 3? Can you play the 2? Can you play the 1 shade? What are you? very interesting. And this is gonna be something I'm gonna be paying attention to during the preseason. Being honest with you.
You know, and what are we asking these guys to do now in this Christian Parker scheme? We're learning about gap and a half. We're
Take
learning
the line of
about
scrimmage, yeah.
You know, we're learning about Christian Parker's out there telling them, hey, these defensive tackles work for you.
Yeah. He's a 350 guy. How many, or a 320 guy? How many 320 guys they got? Yeah. Brian, what's your outlook on Jay Toia?
Man, that was a hard ass cut, editor. I didn't notice it at first, but I edit my own videos, so I know that was a hard ass cut.
Which lookout guy is he?
I think he's a lookout guy, and I don't think it's a listen. There's things that Jay Toia.
Oh no, something happened. It must have rebuffed or something.
He's got to prove to me that he plays 300 in this Christian. About hey, if these guys are square, they're playing good football. If you're one of those guys not holding up blocks, not playing like you're 320 pounds, getting turned at the line of scrimmage, playing with no foot movement or power or any of that stuff, you're a lookout guy.
Yeah.
Because this makes it very difficult for Jay Toia. And this is why, like, hopefully he's really cooking. And we can actually see some development be done in that DT room, because now we got vets in front of him, high-quality vets. He should be almost strong enough, or it's showing more flashes of strength that he could be able to do this year. Because he got a point. You got Otito. You still got Bullard. You got Kenny Clark. You got Quentin Williams. They're going to be coming in with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really hoping that Jay we being nitpicky here. This is for the bottom of the D tackle room, but hey, you only strong as your weakest link. Because I don't think Tommy Dunn, the UDFA we got out of here, he shouldn't be strong enough year one. D tackles are not strong enough in year one. They're not. So this is going to be a very much so interesting study within that.
And we could say, oh, it's unfair, Broad. It's his second year. But they specifically have told us what they're looking for in a guy. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're 300 or 320. It doesn't matter. If you don't play within the scheme that they're asking, if you can't stay square, if you get turned, if you give up, if you allow linebacker or offensive lineman, to run up on Overshown all day, you can't play. You have to prove to me that you could be that guy. I would say he's a lookout guy right now.
Mm-hmm. We're going to pay attention to that. Very next one. This is very much so important too. They're dealing with the linebacker room. I wanted to, bring
right.
to.
Yeah. Look out, get out of here.
If a young dude's trying to change the tire, but he's messing it up.
Yeah.
And the old dude be like, man, look out. And he'll come in, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then there's also, hey, look out for him.
Look out.
That's the game, you know what I'm saying? You either look out for him or
look out.
Watch out. Gotcha. I think hand gestures are important.
I think he's the watch this guy.
I totally agree. We got the hand gestures down. All right, cool, perfect. Let's do it. Brian.
Did it take me 20 minutes to figure this out?
That's why I'm here, Brian. It's okay.
Was I playing the game wrong the whole time?
No. You were playing the game correctly. I just wanted you to incorporate your hand signals.
Yeah. Okay, I thought when you said look out, look out, get out of here. Look out.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's two lookouts.
But there's two lookouts.
Hey,
look out. Hey, Toia, look out. Look out.
Look out, man. Watch out.
That and that.
Like I'm on the sideline. Look out, guys.
I took
school Riddell without the lines in.
Oh God, nothing. Yeah.
Brian, what about Shamar James?
Mm.
Shamar James played a ton of football for you last year, man. He got some reps, and there were growing pains associated, of course, Now, do you look at the second-year linebacker and go, hey, man, I saw his little video came out, too. He got his little pass rush stuff. He doing some little – I was like, all right, cool, bet. Shamar James should be further along in his process, peanut butter Shamar James. You know what I'm saying, Brian? But the Cowboys are telling you what they think about the linebacker position.
You ready for this one?
What you think about Shamar James, Brian?
Ready for this one?
Please.
Look out.
Huh.
Okay.
Look out.
Do tell.
Hey,
I think this guy's pushing to be a starter.
Mm.
I think he's pushing to be a starter.
He's in the fight.
He's in the fight.
Please.
I think that, to me, we always like to, in June, make huge, bold proclamations, have some fun, see if in December all our people circle back with you and go, oh, man, you like that. I think this is.
That's fascinating.
I think this is a look out.
Put us on the split, please. Oh, goodness. So, Brian, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have to do with D. Winters and Overshown being on one-year deals?
Mm-mm.
It's all about the football.
I think it's about the football. But I also think, I'm not saying one-year deals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, because I've said this before, we've done shows with this. I think there's some legitimate competition for Overshown spot.
Because if something happens to Overshown, it's Barham versus James.
And I think
Winters is safe.
I think James is ahead just because he's had experience.
He's a veteran. He's done it before. He's done it.
People don't remember this, but actually, when we first got Dean Winters, I was saying that that's immediate competition for Overshown. Like Overshown's, like his job already been in jeopardy. But this segment is about Shamar. I think Shamar has the right mentality, the right, what you want from a linebacker. I think he can see it. I like his enthusiasm. Like he's flying around, he covers ground and everything like that. If you're talking about him starting, it better not be in that Mike position. I think Shamar James has the body type where he'll eventually come in heavy enough to take on a load. But if you talk about anywhere close to what he was last year, he's just too light for me. And it's not because he would be like injury prone like Overshown. I just think he'll just get moved around. That's just me. If Shamar James wins the starting Mike position, we need to be looking at getting more Mike linebackers in here. Just being, you need to be calling Bobby Wagner probably. Just being frank. I'm just telling you right now, and I know people will be like, "Well, Lou, we got the D tackles that will protect them." Look, man, like even the bad habit the Dallas Cowboys like to make when in terms of team building, they like to invest in one area and feel a need to break all football rules in the area that it affects. So like we'll invest in O-line, but we'll completely disrespect and go cheap at running back. When in real life, investing in both of them helps them both. Or like we'll invest in quarterback and then we'll go cheap for a year or two at receiver. When in real life, if you invest in them both, they help them both. We will not invest in linebacker and we not invest in one tackle and everything like that, and invest in the edges and then be questioning and wondering why we still getting ran in the middle. I just feel like if Shamar wins that role inside, you need more because he's just not physically ready just yet.
Before
he's done it for 17 more games than what Barham has done.
And there's the likelihood that Barham could just play a bunch of edge this year, outside linebacker this year.
What got me to thinking about this was when they went that one practice where they went James, when they went first nickel defense, 2 minute against Dak, and it wasn't Overshown on the field.
And this is what Boss just did a show on. Like, they doing all this rotation, and Mike is really scaring me. And shout out for Brian for letting everybody know. But here's the last clip we're going to react to. It's from the Stack. It's dealing with Overshown.
If Ferg doesn't take that next step to kind of show a little bit more of that athleticism after the catch, could you maybe be looking at
I think it would be hope for us to be, having expectations of him to this point. I will say, what year was it that he played almost the whole? It wasn't almost the whole year, but it was
very first year, I think.
Was it the first
23?
Yeah, well, he's if you look at his numbers, it's like 11-5 and it's not
5 again.
Yeah.
This is what makes me mad that we tagging Pickens. Because the prime tag candidate, the whole idea of the franchise tag is for players like Overshown. You mean to tell me the year that he's actually been the healthiest was his rookie year, and he still didn't finish that game or finish that season? This is a very big concern, man. We cannot. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be so mad if the Dallas Cowboys choose to invest with him in that position. Because to me, yeah, it can be viewed as looking out for him, but can also, to me, be a crutch for them, the reason why to never invest in that position again, or a reason to go cheap. That's just me.
I don't think I think his early career was more than it was the later part of the last
maybe it was
part of it.
24 season.
This one is hard for me. This might be the hardest one for me because I'm gonna say hope for me.
Okay.
And the hope is not just about just him here in the Cowboys. I'm talking about for his career.
Yeah.
His career. I think this year, and he knows that. Did y'all listen to his interviews?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
He knows that this is so pivotal. So that's why I know he gonna come on with it.
She right. If Overshown can't finish this year, what organization is ever going to truly invest in Overshown on their team? And that's what happened. And honestly, it's happening a lot more. And this is why I keep telling y'all, it's really a running league. Let me tell you how you know it's a running league, because the linebacker position right now is in their former safety era type guys, but everyone's punishing that. As a result, all of those hybrid linebackers, they're all hurt right now. They all get hurt. Fred Warner didn't been hurt. Now, this is probably one of his most significant injuries, but Overshown's been hurt. Like, everyone who's that tweener linebacker, they're not lasting right now because it's been a shift back to the power punishing type of run game. And their bodies, and a lot of these kids' bodies is not going to be able to withstand that punishment. So it really sucks for Overshown, but now this is the amount of pressure you got to put on somebody like Overshown. And honestly, if you you should tag him, bro. That's it. If you really want him on the team, you should just tag him.
I'm just hoping his body comes with him.
Yeah.
I think mentally up here, he's locked the hell in. He's ready to go. But I'm hoping his body can hold up for a full season, and that is hope. I don't have nothing except for the good Lord. I don't have nothing to say that he's going to be ready, but I do think him and D. Winters together could be very explosive, very fun to watch. So it's going to be a hope thing.
That's where I disagree. I do not want to see Overshown at that mic. I think he can mentally take on the responsibility because he's enthusiastic, but somebody like Overshown, he's just chaos, and I just want him inflicting chaos. So I don't want to slow him down by giving him the mental workload inside. Also, we already talked about his body. So if you already have questions about his body, I'm not going to put him inside where it's going to be more trash or more things for him to navigate or more things that is unavoidable for him. Like claiming and saying that he needs to be more healthier for him, but also giving him a more, like difficult task to even stay durable. I don't think that's conducive. Just being honest with you. And I just don't think Overshown is a downhill thumper. We need a thumper inside. That's what all those previous, Vic Fangio, Christian Parker, that's what they always had. They always had a thumper inside. So that's where I have to, disagree. So, but I think we did pretty good on this, man. Shout out to the Sky and 2 Hours, shout out to the Stack, shout out to Crown Global Media. In this, make sure y'all to like, share, and subscribe to the content. This is a great exercise. We're gonna start doing this a lot more, especially like during the season, just putting our ear to the streets and everything like that, and just not sitting back, but right here and just giving our opinion on it, because it's good to hear somebody else's input on it and just putting it out there. But look, we all put good content out there. Sometimes you gotta highlight it. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody for coming out here, man. Make sure like I said, to like, share, subscribe to the content. It's a video coming out soon that I'm working on. I'm pissed because like the software I'm using is kind of buggy, so I gotta kind of hard code it. And that's like, bro, I'm not at work. I don't want to be coding. So, but we're gonna continue to ride out. I appreciate y'all, everybody, man. But until next time, we out.